Alright guys, everybody's doing these super cool car videos, so I figured it was my turn. It's kind of a bittersweet car video for me, so I promised myself that I would do very honest Instagram videos, and I wasn't going to sugarcoat anything. So everybody posts about being an entrepreneur, and you know, you see a lot of people post all the fancy car videos and the fancy this and the big hat, no cattle people, meaning those who show that they're wealthy but they're not. The reality is that to get there, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. And the reason this is so bittersweet to me is the car that I'm driving right now is my red. Probably some of you have seen it. If not, I'll post it as the cover photo for this. It's my red 2001 Honda S2000. I bought it when I started recruiting duty in 2013. I spent, basically throughout recruiting duty, I spent any additional money on it. I turbocharged it in my garage. I put a stage 5 clutch in it. Got it tuned really well, launch control, some cosmetic stuff. I mean, I made it a really nice car. Honestly, it's probably the most fun car I've ever driven. Just to take it on the Boston Mountains tour and just fly through back roads. And I mean, you lower it, you put some bigger wheels on it. This thing handles like a dream. It wasn't built for the drag strip, although I've taken it there. It was built for turns and fun. And long story short, I love this car. Always have, and I always swore that I would never sell it because I didn't want to be that dad who had the cool car and then traded it or sold it or whatever and regretted it down the road. And so for the last 2 years while I've lived in Hawaii, it's sat in a barn. I took the wheels off, prepped it for the winter, you know, and just left it in the barn because I couldn't take it. And now I come back 2 years later, and I'm much further into my investing and financial independence, and I clicked and realized that the whole from military to millionaire concept, you know, it involves, it's kind of cool if you see the waves in the video. That's from the heat. Kind of, I don't know, cruising. You're gonna get to hear some, I don't know, we're gonna hit traffic soon, so we'll see what happens. The whole from military to millionaire concept is about helping individuals understand that if you're smart with your money, you don't blow it all on dumb stuff like cars and Harleys and tattoos and guns, that you can build a lot of wealth even on just a military paycheck. And in that regard, I realized that me owning this car, A, directly contradicts what my life is becoming all about and my passion, and B, the money I get from this car could probably buy me a house that earns me $100, $200 a month, rather than owning this car, which costs me, you know, $100, $200. Probably not. I mean, it's paid off, so it's probably like $100 every $200 every 6 months for insurance. But still, right now, this is a liability. It costs me money. I mean, even coming out here, even though it sat for 2 years, all I had to do was buy a battery and like 2 rubber hoses. That still cost me $130 for the battery. And I just realized that that's not the way to be. So as much as it pains me to say this, I am currently driving my car to meet with a buddy of mine named Joel, who owns a used car dealer, American Auto Outlet. If you're in the Springfield, Missouri area, check it out. He's a great dude. Where we're going to talk about my bottom line, and then he's going to take it off my hands, and we'll leave it up to the masses. If the car sells, the car sells, and if the car doesn't, you know, I mean, I won't be upset if I have to keep it around. But, yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So it's kind of a bittersweet. I mean, just listen to this bad boy. Now that was only like 6,000 or 7,000 RPMs, and it goes up to 9,300. It's a fun toy to drive. If you're in the market for a nice car, let me know. Disclaimer: it's a true car enthusiast car. I pulled the air conditioning out. Took off the power steering. It's not a luxury car. It's a fun, sporty car that honestly, the transmission on this is like the best shifting transmission I've ever driven. Yes, it's a manual, so if you can't drive that, I'm sorry. Just a super great car to own, to drive. Maybe we'll give you a chance to hear the launch control here in a second. That'll be fun. That'll be one last go ahead. It's a little bit of an incline, so hopefully this truck doesn't get. No, this truck is definitely way too close to me. So we shall see what happens, I guess. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. So the hope is that by selling this car, I can make enough money to buy a house, preferably a multifamily, and then I'll be able to make a video series or a blog post about how selling my car bought me a house as an asset. And basically the long-term goal with this is that in 10 years, having sold this will have helped get the ball rolling that much faster so that I can buy a much nicer car down the road. Obviously at that point I'll do it more like the wealthy. So this car, I bought this car as a daily driver, then spent a bunch of money fixing it up. Hang on. Sorry guys, I dropped you. Apparently I might have messed up my screen, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't really know what's going on with my screen there. Oh, there we are. We're normal again. Alright, so that wasn't the launch control, but it was the first and second gear, like halfway. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, long term. So anyway, like I was saying, to build wealth like the wealthy, meaning that, or not build wealth like the wealthy, buy a car like the wealthy, meaning that at the time when I finally get around to taking this money and buying a much nicer vehicle, the plan will be to buy a big enough asset that the monthly cash flow from that asset covers any expense that I would have with the car, my monthly payment, my whatever. And then that way, once the car is paid off, I still own the asset, and I really didn't spend any money. I spent some cash flow, but it bought me, so my asset bought the liability, which is the way to do it. If you're buying liabilities outright, you're never going to own assets. But if you buy assets, you can then turn around and take that asset and turn it into a way to buy liabilities or buy more assets, which is the goal. So you buy more assets and more assets and more assets, and then you turn around and one day you're able to buy a liability, but you buy the asset first so that the asset covers the liability, and no harm, no foul. And that's how the wealthy are able to have nice cars, because they aren't really paying for it. Their apartment is, if that makes sense. Anyway, so this is going to be unedited. It'll be posted. Let's hope that I go through with this. I'm really not excited about the idea of selling this car. It's been a big part of my life. It's helped me with some tough times. But you know what? It's going to help me with a lot more tough times when it's a duplex and it's making me rich. Thanks, guys. Go out there, get your hustle, and hopefully you took something away from this, that it's not always fun and games. Everybody's got to make sacrifices. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.